Ladies, you're not here by accident. You're here because deep down, you know love shouldn't feel like hard work, and yet somehow it often does. You've felt it, that ache of wondering why you give so much, feel so much, care so deeply, and still find yourself questioning whether he's all in. What I'm about to share with you isn't about tips and tricks. It's about tapping into something far more powerful, your ability to create an emotional experience so rich, so unforgettable, that he finds himself craving you even when you're not around. Let's get one thing clear. This is not manipulation. This is not about games, tactics, or trying to be someone you're not just to hold a man's attention. It's about becoming so rooted in who you are, so emotionally vibrant, that a man feels your energy long after the conversation ends. It's about becoming that woman, not the loudest, not the prettiest, not the one who tries the hardest, but the one he feels. And that feeling, that's what makes a man come closer, stay longer, and fall deeper. A man doesn't become addicted to a woman because she texts the right things. He becomes addicted to how she makes him feel about himself in her presence. He becomes drawn to her because she awakens something in him that the rest of the world silences. So if you've ever asked, how do I make him see my worth? The truth is you don't. You show up as your full self and the right man sees it. And more importantly, he feels it. So today, I want to walk you through 6 powerful shifts that turn attraction into addiction, the healthy kind, the kind of emotional imprint that lingers in a man's mind. That becomes the echo in his thoughts, the warmth in his chest, the reason he wants to show up again and again. These shifts aren't things you do once, they are ways of being. And when you embody them, you become unforgettable. There is something undeniably magnetic about a woman who knows who she is emotionally. In a world where people are quick to over-explain, over-apologize, or overextend themselves just to feel secure, the woman who brings emotional certainty into a man's life becomes a lighthouse in his storm. Emotional certainty doesn't mean you're emotionless. It means you're rooted. It means you feel deeply, but you're not at the mercy of every emotional wave. You don't crumble when someone pulls back or panic when someone gets close. You understand that your worth isn't dictated by someone else's attention. What makes emotional certainty so addictive is that it creates safety, not just for you, but for him. Most men walk through the world armored, taught to suppress, to hold it together, to never be too vulnerable. But when he's with a woman who exudes calm presence, who responds rather than reacts, who can hold space without judgment, he finds something he didn't know he needed. He starts to breathe deeper around you. He starts to trust you, not just with his time, but with parts of himself he's never shown. And trust me, that is what makes you irreplaceable. The emotionally certain woman doesn't beg for love, she embodies it. She's not threatened by space because she knows connection can stretch without breaking. She doesn't need to prove her worth. She lives it. That confidence radiates without arrogance. It draws people in, and it makes a man want to show up for her without feeling pressured to perform. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more emotionally certain you are, the more freedom you give him to step up without fear. Men aren't drawn to emotional chaos. They're drawn to emotional consistency. When you become the woman who can hold her own emotional ground, you become the woman who holds space for real love to grow. You show him you're not here to be saved, you're here to connect. That difference changes everything. This isn't about hiding your feelings or pretending to be unbothered. It's about honoring your feelings without letting them control you. It's about knowing that your emotions are valid, but also learning how to process them with grace. Emotional maturity is the sexiest thing you can bring to a relationship, because in a world full of emotional volatility, being the calm, centered force becomes the thing he needs, not just wants. He doesn't become addicted to the woman who cries for attention. He becomes addicted to the woman who sees him, holds him accountable, and reflects his highest self back to him without ever losing her own identity. That level of emotional security creates the kind of bond that no physical attraction alone can sustain. Something lasting, something real. Nothing is more irresistible than a woman who is already deeply in love with her own life. Passion is magnetic. When a woman is driven by her own purpose, lit up by her hobbies, dedicated to her growth, and enjoying her everyday moments, she becomes a living invitation. She doesn't wait around for a man to give her meaning. She brings meaning into every room she walks into. That kind of passion isn't loud. It doesn't need to shout, it radiates. When a man sees that you've created a life that excites you, one that's rich with goals, laughter, friendships, and curiosity, he knows you're not looking for him to complete you. And that is unbelievably powerful, because he doesn't feel pressure to be alive. He gets to join a life that's already full. That shift in dynamic changes everything. The beauty of a passionate woman is that she doesn't chase attention. She creates momentum. She's moving forward with or without him. She values connection, but she doesn't abandon herself for it. It makes a man respect your time, value your presence, and want to earn a spot in your world. Passion also makes you more alive. It gives you stories to tell, moments to share, an energy to bring. You're not waiting to be chosen. You're busy choosing yourself. That self-love creates a glow that no filter can replicate. It's the kind of glow that makes a man think, what is it about her? It's the aliveness that keeps him hooked. And here's the secret: when you're in love with your life, you become more fun, more playful, more magnetic. You stop overanalyzing every interaction. You start enjoying. And that joy, that lightness, it's the most attractive quality in the world. The truth is, a passionate life doesn't just impress, it inspires. It makes him want to rise to meet your energy. It makes him curious. It keeps him guessing. And over time, it becomes a source of mutual growth where both of you are expanding, not just existing. So pour into your passions. Fill your calendar with things that excite you. Make your own world so vibrant that even if love walks in, it's just one more beautiful part of the journey, not the destination. Because a woman with passion doesn't need him, and that's why he can't stop thinking about her. Mystery is not about being cold, withholding, or distant. It's about having layers, depth, dimension. In a world obsessed with instant access, mystery creates space for wonder. And the truth is, a man doesn't fall for what he knows. He falls for what he's still discovering. When a woman allows him to uncover her slowly, she builds a connection that grows over time, not just in the moment. Mystery says, I know myself deeply, but I don't owe you all of me right away. That confidence is deeply alluring. It means you respect your own story enough to share it with care. You don't give your vulnerability to just anyone. You give it to someone who shows they can hold it with gentleness and integrity. You don't have to tell him your whole life story on the first date. You don't have to spill your insecurities just to bond. You build intrigue by being present, not by oversharing. You listen as much as you speak. You allow pauses. You let the moment breathe. The woman with mystery isn't playing games. She's honoring herself. She allows space in conversations. She lets him miss her. She doesn't over-explain. She doesn't justify her choices. That silence, that distance, that unspoken power, it builds a quiet tension that draws him closer. Mystery is not about what you withhold. It's about what you reveal with intention. You show pieces of your heart, your past, your dreams, but not all at once. You allow the connection to unfold like a novel, not a news report. And that pacing makes every revelation feel earned. When you carry mystery, you walk differently. You speak differently. You don't try to prove your worth. You already know it. And that knowing is addictive. It lingers. It becomes the reason he texts, the reason he wants to see you again, the reason he keeps coming back. The woman with mystery doesn't need to be the loudest or the most dramatic. She just needs to be herself, with restraint, with elegance, with presence, because presence without full access builds desire. It invites, not demands connection. So don't rush to fill every silence. Don't try to be understood too quickly. Let him work a little. Let him wonder, let him lean in, because when he has to earn the next layer of you, he values every moment more. There's an irresistible power in a woman who can challenge a man, not by fighting him, but by awakening him. Challenge isn't about being confrontational. It's about being real. It's about calling him out when he's shrinking and lifting him when he's rising. Men don't fall for women who always agree with them. They fall for women who make them think, who shake their beliefs in the best way, who don't shrink to make him comfortable. The challenge you bring should never be about ego. You're not trying to one-up him. You're not turning love into a competition. You're inviting him to expand. And that kind of invitation, when delivered with grace, is a gift. It lets him know that you see his potential, not just who he is today, but who he could be if he truly stepped into himself. That kind of belief is powerful and rare. You challenge him when you hold your standards. You don't settle for crumbs and pretend you're full. You let him know what you want, not with ultimatums, but with calm clarity. When you say, from a place of self-respect, he either rises to meet you or he walks. And either way, you win. Men respect women who respect themselves. They're not addicted to obedience. They're addicted to presence. When you express disagreement, when you offer a different perspective, when you speak your truth and stand your ground without attacking, you create tension. And that tension is what keeps things alive. It's what keeps him engaged. It tells him this isn't just about love. It's about growth. Challenge also means not making yourself small. You don't hide your intelligence, your success, your ambition. You let him see all of it. And if he's the right man, he won't be intimidated. He'll be inspired. He'll see you as a partner, not a project. And that equality becomes the foundation of a deeper, lasting bond. And here's the truth: a man wants to feel needed, but he also wants to feel challenged. He wants to feel like he's earning your respect, not just receiving your affection. He wants to be reminded that he's dating a woman with vision, with values, with a spine. That's not just sexy, it's unforgettable. The woman who challenges with love becomes his compass. She's not afraid to call him forward. She doesn't tolerate excuses. She doesn't enable weakness. She believes in who he can be, and she holds space for that man to rise. That kind of influence becomes a drug, not one of control, but of inspiration. So don't back down. Don't smooth over every rough edge just to keep the peace. Speak up, stand tall, be kind, but be firm. Because when you challenge a man with love, you become more than just a girlfriend. You become a mirror to his greatness, and that is addictive. Playfulness is often underrated, but it is one of your most powerful feminine tools. We're not just talking about flirting, we're talking about bringing lightness into his life. In a world filled with stress, pressure, the woman who makes him laugh, makes him smile, makes him feel joy becomes his escape. Not the kind he runs away to, but the kind he runs toward. When you're playful, you soften the weight he carries. You make life feel lighter, easier, more colorful. You tease him. You joke with him. You dance in the kitchen. You remind him not to take everything so seriously. And in doing so, you become the place where his heart can rest. That kind of comfort is priceless. The playful woman doesn't overthink every word. She's in the moment. She says what she feels. She surprises him. She shows up with unexpected charm. That spontaneity, that sparkle, it creates a sense of emotional adventure. And once a man feels excited around you, not just safe, he becomes addicted to that emotional roller coaster in the best way. Playfulness doesn't mean immaturity. It means you're confident enough to let go, to laugh at yourself, to not make every moment serious. You can have deep conversations, but you also know how to make him smile when he's had a rough day. You become the joy in his chaos, and that joy becomes something he needs. Flirting, when done playfully, becomes a language only the two of you speak. It builds inside jokes, private smiles, shared glances across crowded rooms. It creates an intimacy that doesn't require grand gestures. It lives in the little things. And most importantly, playfulness keeps attraction alive. Too many relationships die because people stop playing. They stop being curious. They stop having fun. But when you keep that sense of play, you keep him engaged, you keep him leaning in, wondering what you'll do next. So don't underestimate the power of play. Make him laugh, lighten the mood, surprise him. Be unpredictable in the most charming ways, because the woman who can touch his heart and tickle his soul, she's the one he never forgets. And finally, the deepest reason a man becomes addicted to a woman is because she makes him feel something he can't find anywhere else. A man may be attracted to your body, your mind, your humor, but what makes him fall is when you touch his soul, not with performance, not with perfection, but with presence. Let him feel you. Let him feel your emotions, your essence, your softness, your strength. Let him feel your admiration when he does something well. Let him feel your absence when you pull away. Let him feel your excitement when you see him. Don't just speak love, radiate it. We often try to win someone over with logic, but connection doesn't live in logic, it lives in energy. The way you touch his arm when he's tired, the way you lean in when he talks about his passions, the way you whisper, "I'm proud of you," when no one else sees, those are the things that linger. Don't be afraid of emotional expression, but don't weaponize it either. Let your emotions flow like water, not like fire. Let him experience the full range of you, playful, curious, gentle, passionate. Because the woman who lives in color leaves a mark on his black and white world. And it's not about being too much. It's about being true. When you're authentic, when you show up fully, you invite him to do the same. And suddenly, you're not just dating, you're connecting. You're building something real, something he'll search for again and again. This emotional imprint is what lingers when you're gone. It's what makes him remember the way your energy shifted a room, the way your presence made him want to be better, the way your love didn't demand but inspired. That emotional memory becomes something he can't replace. So don't just try to be the woman he sees, be the woman he feels, because feelings don't lie. And once he's felt you, not just your words, your beauty or your personality, but your essence, no one else will come close. So if you want to know what gets a man addicted to you forever, it's this: be the woman who gives him what the world doesn't. Be the calm in his storm. Be the fire in his comfort. Be the softness in his resistance. Be the joy in his routine. Be the truth in his confusion. And above all, be yourself fully, boldly, unapologetically. Because the woman who is grounded in herself, lit up by her life, full of mystery, willing to challenge, playful, and emotionally felt, becomes unforgettable. And when he finds a woman like that, he doesn't just want her, he can't let her go.